Hey guys, so it's me. I am sorry about the quality of my camera right now. I don't know what it is, but I just figured I would bring it a bit out of my alternative reborns. Start bringing them out and kind of showing you guys, and explaining to you what they are and what they're based off of. My first alternative reborn is Alea. I have her down here, but I'm going to show you Kayla. This is baby Kayla. He is a Klingon, and he's drinking some alcohol-free blood wine. So he is based off of Star Trek Voyager. I didn't do a very good job on the forehead ridges. I tried to make them pointed, but I didn't have, what is it called? I didn't have polymer clay to do all this, so, and he has Mod Podged over, so that's why he looks a little shiny. But he's really not. He's not all that shiny, so. But he has a open mouth, as you can tell. I've got the bottle in there, and he don't like letting go of his bit of blood wine, his blood wine flavored juice. He does have a magnet in his head. You can't really tell because I don't really have magnetic pacifier for him. And this is just the creamy bottle that I was using. I got it when I went to South Carolina the first time. So he's just wearing one of Oliver's little shirts, and I had him wrapped in his blanket because it was a little cold, so I don't know what he was looking at. He looks relatively human. There's his forehead ridges. The next time if I were to do him, the vinyl is very hard. This is the one I brought from Walmart. His vinyl is very hard. His vinyl is not the best. He is one of my many to-be alternative reborns. I do have a sugar skull in the works. Well, in the planning, not in the works. But yeah, there he is. There's his forehead ridges, and there's his mouth. He's got a little bit of an open mouth. He's painted beautifully around the mouth. Like, I love the way he paints it around the mouth. And then his lips, how beautiful his lips are. He looks a little bit biracial, but he's not. He's supposed to be that tan kind of thick skin tone that they have. And then he has, this is my first time painting hair on a doll ever. And it is a chocolate color, because it was either brown chocolate or a kind of like a reddish brown look. So that's what their hair looks like, and you can see kind of like the ridges were already there in the vinyl when I got them. There's a little, my attempt at a swirl that didn't come out too good, and then here's the back of it, as you can see. Here, let me turn his head back around. Here's his head. Here's the back of his head. I tried to paint his head as his hair as further back as I could, because I wanted to give it that receding hairline kind of look that they have, or give him the look that his forehead is a little farther back, more so back than it is up front. So, but that is Kalis. Here are his arms, and then he is a Behringer doll from Walmart. He's a Behringer doll from Walmart. He is the La Newborn doll. Here's his feet. There's his head. And this onesie is really huge on him. The body I have him on has the joints for his legs. These are made to go inside the torsos. So they're not really made for the full arms, full legs. So yeah. And then I will get you guys Alea, so I will be right back. I have everything over here in Oliver's little crib, Oliver's little area that I have him down here in. The blanket I was using for him is not his blanket. It is Julius's blanket. So I'm gonna try to pose him really cute over here. Little butt in the air. And then my first and for a while my only alternative reborn is Alea. She is a Silurian. She is based off of Madame Vestra. She has been through so much. I have had to do so many repairs on her, paint-wise, because some of the paint would come off. And like I said, she was my first ever alternative reborn that I had made, and I didn't know what I knew now about them. So I knew for a really long time I knew I wanted to do a Silurian baby. I just didn't know how I was going to go about doing it and getting that skin tone effect, and I pitched the idea to my uncle, which he thought was cool, and he actually gave me some advice on how to do the scaling effect, and where you can see the lighter scale colors, that was going to be her original skin tone, and the darker background color was going to be the scale color. So I painted the lime green color on first, and then the Kelly green color for the scaled, and I didn't like it, so I ended up doing the paint over with that, with the green. So, but she was my first ever alternative reborn that I ever did, so, she is Mod Podged over because, for whatever reason, the paint kept chipping off of her, and still, some now and again, some comes on, some rubs off, some doesn't. So she is a Behringer doll, Walmart brand. No, not Walmart, it's Kmart. I got her from Kmart. And you can see the difference between her and Kalis, because Kalis is a little bit smaller size-wise, and I think his limbs are a little longer. His limbs are a bit longer than hers. Her arms are a little shorter, and the same with her legs. Her legs are a little shorter as well. Like I said, she was my first ever reborn that I did that was alternative. I knew I'd wanted an alternative baby when I got her, but I didn't know what I wanted for an alternative baby, and I didn't want the typical vampire, the zombie. I wanted something different. I wanted something that not everybody would have. And I decided to make a Silurian reborn. So she was based off of Madame Vestra. And if you guys don't know who Madame Vestra is, she is the lizard woman from the dawn of time. She is married to her wife, Ginny Flint, and they have they live in Victorian era London, England. So this is where I got the look off of with Madame Vestra. Madame Vestra is played by Neve McIntosh. She's set to be playing in a new film called Social Suicide, the movie. And then she is being cast as one of the lead roles in a new series that is coming out later on next year, I think. I think winter next year. So I don't know. We haven't really gotten the details on it, but it's called Critical. I think it's supposed to air on Sky Television. I'm not sure. I don't know if they'll air it on BBC. All we've had was just the title and stuff and a few pictures from behind the scenes. Fans, not producers. I don't produce anything. But I did post a picture of her on Twitter, and I have posted pictures on her on Instagram, and so far a lot of Hoovens have liked her photos. She is one of my favorite babies. I like her because I like green. That and Madame Vestra is one of my favorite characters. Before I actually did her, I did a lot of really intense online searching for what the close-ups of Madame Vestra's mask is, and it's just the back of her mask is actually like a almost like a hat, and it goes over her, and the base part is kind of like a jelly-like substance. But I know she said that they only wear it, like, she only wears it once and then it gets thrown away. So, and I had just thought it was silicone that they just use on the skin and they just glue it on. But this is Alea. She is a Silurian. Her eyes, and then her lips. When I got her, her lips were the perfect shade of pink. So, that was what I was really worried about, was, doing the shades of pink on the lips, and I knew I wasn't going to be good at that, so, yeah. So the lip color was, like, spot on, and then the inside of the mouth, I was like, oh, cool, so you can take a pacifier. And then, there's really nothing out there, oh, sorry, guys, there's really nothing out there online, giving you pictures of what a baby Silurian would look like, so I had to kind of go off of, like, imagination and stuff. So I spent 2 days total painting her, on and off. I did my last day of painting her, I stayed up all night to finish the paint on her head. I think I only had the back area to go. So, and I didn't want her coloring to be perfect. I wanted it to kind of be faded in now, and in some spots you could tell it's faded, and some spots you can't. So, but actually, when she was on her temporary body, which was basically just much cloth, and then I just shoved her limbs in a onesie and in a diaper. I had showed her to my mom. My mom was like, "Oh my God, she looks like a lizard would," because she has that effect. She kept losing her paint on her feet because I didn't Mod Podge heavily enough on them, so I got tired of that, and it got to the point where it was interfering with my bond with her, so I took a bunch of Mod Podge on the 50th special of Doctor Who, and I Mod Podged the hell out of her feet. And we were in my parents' room, and I had leaned her down on the rug, and it had gotten, like, a little bit of dirt. The Mod Podge was still tacky, so it had a little bit of dirt on there, but thankfully it wasn't tacky enough to where I'd have to wipe it down and repaint it. I could just pick them out and not have to worry about it. But it did leave her skin textured, which I was, like, totally fine with, because I want people to, you know, hold her and feel her and see that she's textured like a real lizard. So, but yeah, she was my first reborn that I did. That was an alternative reborn. She can take, her vinyl is a little bit more flexible, and I can squeeze her cheeks as much as I want, and I don't have to worry about the paint coming off, or anything. Mod Podge is awesome, for the whole, I wanted her to be shiny, so that's a purpose, so that's, like, because I wanted the lizard to be kind of shiny look. So, I wanted her to have kind of the open mouth so I can do the bottle and everything and stuff like that. It fits better, this fits better in Kayla's mouth than it does in her mouth, but as you can see, I can shove the bottle in her mouth, and she can take a full bottle, not a full bottle, she could take the bulb right here to it, this full part, if you can see that little line there, yeah, that little line that goes there, she could take all that in her mouth. I could push it in because of the silicone. I could push it in, and just do it like that, and then feed her her bottle of whatever. Or I can actually squeeze her cheeks. See if I could do this on here. And just kind of shove it in there. Yeah, I can't do that online or on camera without help. I'm gonna do a better in-depth video later on, probably Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. I have videos up of her, so. But yeah, bye guys.